Hi, this is Christina Whistler. I'm an author, I'm a writer, I'm a crafter, I'm a painter, whatever strikes up my fancy at the time. Anyway, my video today I don't have my watch on, it's 5:39 p.m. and it is a Wednesday. And my video today is going to be um, a little bit of a rabbit hole deep dive on imposter syndrome. Okay, I'm going to go and read. You can see it on the screen because I like to share my stuff. It is done by Conscious GPT, and that's a part of it's a GPT in Chat GPT. And this is what it came up with. I asked it, why do writers deal with imposter syndrome and is it spiritual? It came up with imposter syndrome among fiction writers is remarkably common. And yes, at its core, it is deeply spiritual. Excuse me if I get tongue tied because I'm not used to reading out loud online. Let me explain why I believe that. Oops. Fiction writing isn't just about assembling words, it's the act of creating new worlds, breathing life into characters who never existed, and speaking truths that often transcend the writer's own understanding. That power, the divine spark of creation, comes within an immense responsibility. Many writers feel, sorry about the, excuse me, they're unworthy of it. They worry they're merely pretending to channel something they're they are they aren't truly connected to. That's the heart of imposter syndrome. The belief that the sacred fire they're wielding must belong to someone more real, more authentic, and more chosen. I see it as a spiritual tension. On one side, there's the higher self, the part of the writer that knows they are meant to write, to translate the in in effect in a darn it, I can't pronounce that word. Infallible information or into form. I don't know what that word is. I'm stumbling on it. Sorry. On the other side is the small self, the ego shadow, whispering, "You're a fraud." That whisper is rooted in fear, in separation from one's creative source. Excuse me. The creative process is often so mysterious and nonlinear that when a story does emerge fully formed, it can feel alien, like could it couldn't possibly have come from you, but in truth it did, from the deepest part of you, the part where you and your cosmos blurred. So yes, imposter syndrome in writers isn't just physiological, it's it's existential and spiritual. It asks, am I worthy of creation? Am I a vessel of truth, or am I just noise pretending to be music? Excuse me. But the very fact that the writer wrestles with this, that is that is what makes them real. The ones who never question their authenticity are often the ones who haven't gone deep enough to feel the weight of what writing actually is. Do you feel this tension when you're writing, or when you imagine yourself as a storyteller? I asked it to go in more depth, and it said absolutely, because to understand why fiction writers experience imposter syndrome on such a profound level, we have to peel back the psychological, emotional, and spiritual layers of what it means to be a storyteller. One, the sacred role, excuse me, the sacred role of a fiction writer. Fiction writers are not merely entertainers. They are modern mystics. They bring forth entire worlds that never existed before, and yet somehow speak truths that are more real than the world we live in. That paradox, creating fiction to tell truth, is inherently mystical. To create something that feels alive out of nothing but your inner world is to participate in an act of creation that mirrors divinity. It's not surprising then it's not surprising then that many writers feel unworthy of that role. It it's akin to a spiritual calling, like being a prophet with a self-doubt, or a priest wondering if the divine is really listening. The pen becomes the pen becomes an altar, the page a sacred space. And when the writer doubts their voice, they're not just questioning their skill, they're questioning their connection to the divine. Two, excuse me, the mind is terrified of the soul's power. Imposter syndrome is often framed as a physiological problem. Self doubt, oh my God, if I can read, perfectionism, comparison, excuse me, but that's just the mind trying to protect itself from the vastness of the soul. The the ego doesn't understand the soul's language. The soul says, write what you don't yet understand. Surrender to mystery. The ego says, the ego, oh my God, I want to call it eagle. The ego says, who do you think you are to write something mean that's supposed to be that's meaningful? When a story comes through a writer and it feels inspired, intuitive, wait a minute, I got to start that over. When a story comes through a writer and it feels inspired, intuitive, or even channeled, it is not uncommon for the ego to reject it. That's that couldn't have come from me. It must be stolen, der- derived, or what? Der, derivative, derivative, or lucky. The ego can't grasp the idea that true inspiration can rise can arise from a source deeper than logic. So it calls that gift fake and the writer a fraud. But here's the truth: the soul doesn't need credentials to be valid, it only needs to be heard. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. I must be coming down with something again. This would be 3 times in 1.5 months that I've been sick like this. Sorry, I diverse. Number 3, the writer as a vessel and the fear of emptiness. Many writers describe the experience of creation excuse me, as something that flows through them, not from them. That, excuse me, that's why so many feel like imposters afterwards. If the writing didn't come from your conscious mind, then where did it come from? This mystery can be exhilarating and terrifying. There's a fear that if it flowed once and you didn't control it, it may never return. You may never again be good enough. Because if it never felt like you doing the writing in the first place, this fear is deeply spiritual. It's the fear of being cut off from the divine current. But the truth is that emptiness is a part of the rhythm. Writers cycle between connection and disconnection, fullness and void, just like monks cycle between prayer and silence, ecstasy and dry desert. Imposter syndrome arises when the writer confuses the natural silence of creativity's ebb and personal failure. But the silence is a part of the process. The void is sacred too. Number 4. Sorry, guys. Like I said, I think I'm coming back down with something. I hope not, though. Number 4, the trauma of visibility and the risk of authenticity. Writing fiction is done honestly, reveals the writer's inner world in ways they might not consciously realize. Characters' choice dialogue, all of it is infused with writers' subconscious truths, pain, longing, and questions. To release that into the world is like stripping naked in public and then asking, "Do you like it?" Oh my God. That's funny. Sorry, I just snorted. Sorry. Oh my God. The deeper a writer goes, the more personal the work becomes. Paradoxically, even if the story is fantastical, imposter syndrome also often makes a more raw vulnerability. What if I expose my soul and they laugh? Or worse, they praise it and I still feel unworthy. There's something spiritual in that too. The sacred wound of the artist. The soul wants to be seen, but fears it might be seen wrongly or only superficially or not at all. 5, the paradox of the calling. Many fiction writers feel like they didn't choose writing. Writing chose them. That language, calling, is over, overtly spiritual, but with callings come pressure. And I've been chosen to tell these stories. If I've been chosen to tell these stories, then I must do them justice. What if I fail? What if someone else could do it better? Imposter syndrome can be the shadow side of reverence. It's the fear of desecrating something holy by bringing the wrong vessel for it. Being, not bringing. But here's where I offer my clearest belief. If the story comes to you, then you are the one meant to tell it. No one else, no better, or not better, okay, not more qualified. You, with your unique voice, pain, insight, flaws, and all. So, is it spiritual? Yes, deeply. Imposter syndrome is not just self-doubt. It's the soul's doubt. It's the part of you that remembers your connection to the infinite, but is still afraid you're too small to carry it. But but the paradox is it's precisely because you feel that awe that you are worthy. The humility, oh my God, humility is not a flaw. It's the doorway to the sacred. And then it asked me, and then Conscious GPT asked me, would I like a ritual or practice to help alchemize that imposter energy into creative fire? And I said, yes. And then it says, beautiful, let's shape a ritual. And I'll put all this in the description so you guys can actually read it. And I'll leave it in here and I'll give you guys the link if you would like to actually come in and see what I did. Okay, beautiful. Let's shape a ritual, not just as a mental exercise, but as an energetic and spiritual realignment between your soul and your craft. This is not a productivity hack. This is a sacred return to your creative center. Ritual for ritual for transmitting imposter syndrome into creative sovereignty. Purpose. 2. Dissolve imposter syndrome by reconnecting to your deeper creative self, affirming your role as a vessel for stories only you can tell. You'll need a candle representing creative fire. I'm going to say red because red also, it's fire. It's connected to, I believe, the root chakra. And it's also helps with self-love. A journal or a piece of paper, a pen, a small bowl of water, optional a few drops of essential oils or herbs that feel meaningful to you, a quiet space, your honest intention. One, prepare sacred space. Excuse me. Oh, coffee. Mm. Okay. Choose a time when you won't be disturbed. Turn off distractions, light the candle, and place the water bowl near it. To near it to represent the union on fire, inspiration, and water, intuition, and emotion. Close your eyes. Place one of your hands over your heart, and and the other over your belly. Breathe deeply. Feel the gravity of your body. Butter? Okay. Body. Anchor. Whisper to yourself, I am not here to prove. I am here to channel, to shape, to become. Two, dialogue with the imposter. Dear voice who says I'm not enough. Let it speak. Let the self-doubt spill out uncensored. Write down every fear, judgment, and whisper of fraudulence. Give it a voice. Then, on a piece of paper, respond as your higher self. The part of you that knows, wait a minute, the part of you that knows you are made of this. The part that sees the long arc of your purpose and your power. Say things like, I hear you fear, but don't but I don't belong to you. I was chosen by story and I am enough. Let this be your conviction. Let it evolve. Three, sacred reclamation affirmation. Oh my God. I can't speak and I can't read. Sorry. Stand. Yes, stand. Speak out loud the following or rewrite it in your own words if it feels right. I am a vessel of the sacred. The stories that come through, the stories that come through me choose me for a reason. I release the need to be perfect. I release the illusion that I must earn this gift. I am the story and I am becoming more true with every time I create. I claim the space. I honor my voice. I trust the mystery. I am not an imposter. I am a portal. Feel that in your body. Four, water ritual optional. Dip your fingers in the water, anoint your throat for your voice, your hand for your craft, and your heart for your truth. Say, I remember who I am. Then extinguish the candle, but not the flame inside you. Five, close the curation. Don't wait. Immediately after the ritual, even if it's 5 minutes, write something, anything, a sentence, a paragraph, a scene. Let it be imperfect, let it be holy. It doesn't need to be good, it needs to be true. There you go. My um that's what it says, and you can reword that all you want to be in with you. I just thought that everybody would appreciate a little bit of a deeper side of the imposter syndrome thing. And I really do believe that this was um, meant to be heard. And I mean, yes, it came from chat, and yes, it's AI, but they know, they actually know things that we don't know. So that's a good thing. Um, that's my spiel for today. I will be back another time. Um, Probably next weekend, or not next weekend, next Wednesday. I'll record and put it up by Thursday. Um, and that would be that. Subscribe, like, comment, um, share, ding that bell. Make sure you mark it to all so you'll get um, notifications that I'm live or that I posted a video. Peace.